Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are getting right into the middle of November love reading for the sign of Libra. Alright guys, we're going to get right into it. Excuse me. This is going to be the middle of November love check-in for Libras. And this could be for any Libra, whether you're involved or you're single. This is just basically going to be about the love life area. The love area of your life per se, or how you're looking at it, what your thoughts are on it, what your feelings are on it. All right, guys, so we know that this reading can't be for all Libras. So please just take what resonates with you and throw the rest away. November is a real obstacle clearing time for things to come in December. So a lot of us are getting rid of toxic relationships, toxic connections. We may be leaving jobs. We may be fired from jobs. And at first we may be thinking this is not such a great thing. But nevertheless, everything that's really happening at this period is really making the way for blessings and abundance and greater things to come. All right, so let's just see where you're at, Libra. Straight out, we have the Tower. Covered by the sun. Wow. Whew. Feel it, right? Page of Swords. Covering the Nine of Pentacles in your unconscious. You come into this period with Temperance energy, Sagittarian energy, and you round out this period with the Hierophant. Whew. A lot of major arcana. At the bottom of the deck, you have Seven of Pentacles talking about rewards beginning to come in, beginning to see the fruit of your labor and see if everything that you have been working for is indeed what you have desired and wanted. All right, so very, very heavy kind of energy right away. A Tower moment. Let's get right into it. Tower moment. Everything's changed. Everything fell apart. Libra, some of you are breaking up with your lover. You're finding out things about your lover, your love life that you never knew. Everything that you had imagined or everything that you thought it was, you realize it isn't, and the Tower is coming down. It's a Tower moment. It's an awakening. It's covered by the sun energy, so it's clarity that comes in, happiness that comes in. This is the ending of a period of, I'm going to say a Tower moment is kind of like the ending or the toppling of a mistaken sort of viewpoint that you had on a relationship. You find out something about a relationship or about your love life, someone that you've been connected with, or I'm going to say perhaps someone you had your eye on, or a relationship. It just completely falls apart. But it falls apart in such a way that you feel very good. You feel very optimistic. Some of you, it could very well be that these rewards and the money coming in is what has created this Tower moment. You may be dealing with somebody who up until now you never thought would change when money came in, and now they're changing. You know, Tower represents our ideas about life and people. And when it comes down, Tower moments are usually when divine intervention has happened or events have come into our lives to make us realize that, you know, what we held on to with this system of beliefs were not true. They weren't accurate. And you realize that perhaps you were mistaken about something and your whole outlook changes. You know, it's a real kind of an awakening. And certainly when it's covered with the sun and the affirmation and blessings that come with that, the clarity that comes with that, this Tower moment is really a feeling of an awakening, almost a baptism into a new life. Now, Page of Swords covered by, in your conscious, unconscious, Nine of Pentacles. So really, Page of Swords talks about a conversation. I want to say some of you during this period, you've had conversations or interactions with people which have led to this Tower moment. And a lot of it is really to do with your connection in terms of your ambitious outlook, your career outlook. In the back of your mind, you have a Nine of Pentacles, and that's really talking about someone who is extremely, extremely career-orientated, right? To the degree that sometimes your career and your desire for abundance and wealth and advancement in career can be alienating from others. Now, this is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that you are overly concentrated on money, but this is a feeling of independence, right? Independence, and really realizing that, the garden that you create for yourself is really the most important thing. And if it means that you have to alienate some people in your life to get it, you're absolutely willing to do that. 9 does have inherent in it some of the energy of the hermit. So all the 9 cards are generally solitary figures who are really walking the path on their own. And so with 9 of Pentacles, it's no different. However, I want to say this Page of Swords has come in, this conversation or this new sort of outlook that you've had, this new sort of mental picture that you formulated, coming in as a result of information, or like I said, conversations, is really kind of, in a way, it's kind of allowed you to reaffirm that everything you were doing here was right. It's almost as if you're saying to yourself, Libra, you know what? Thank God I really did carry on with this. Thank God I have this ambition. Thank God I've worked so hard and I've been so independent, because had I really been tied to this situation that is now coming down, my whole life would be fucked. This is a real feeling of, whew, thank God, thank God, a real feeling of having saved yourself, from the cliff's edge, right? I'm going to say in a lot of ways, this Page of Swords could very well be someone who's come into you and given you some information that you didn't know before. Or again, it could just simply be events or conversations that you're having with people that is opening up your eyes to a connection with somebody. And interestingly enough, you have no other indication here of a love connection or a lover in your life. This is very much a feeling of, whoever was a part of this Tower moment, whoever you had your eye on, they're out of your life that fast. They're gone. You don't even desire them. You don't even think about them. They are simply, this situation is simply over and gone. And I think in a lot of ways, because of the abundance coming in, the rewards that are starting to come in Libra, oftentimes when we have a breakup or a Tower moment and we are also on top of it dealing with financial issues, it's difficult to see, the light at the end of the tunnel. But when other areas in our lives are starting to bring in abundance and rewards for all of your hard work, it's a lot easier to handle a Tower moment in your love life, because at least you have your own sort of support and abundance and strength that you've worked for to support yourself. You're not only having to worry about the fact that you're now perhaps alone or broken up and poor, but at least you're feeling a success in this area of your life that is so important to you, Libra, that this wake up that you have here with this connection, whatever this connection was, it's a wake up that only propels you even further into your career work and really makes you completely forget this connection very fast. You come into this period with Temperance and you leave it with a Hierophant. And we're talking about Temperance energy showing up quite a lot. Temperance is Sagittarian energy, but Temperance is interesting. 4 is, in the major arcana, 4 is the Emperor. The Emperor is the king and leader of men. Temperance, 14, is when you are the leader of yourself, when you are absolutely in charge of yourself. This is a feeling of when no one can get you off your square, no matter what they say or do. You don't react. Temperance is not about reacting to the world. It's about acting in the world with intention, and with confidence and purpose, and knowing that every step you take, every move you make, every decision you make is absolutely the one you meant to make, and not one that's being made in a reaction or because somebody has said something to you and you are kind of doing a knee-jerk sort of reaction to it, right? And so in a lot of ways, you're coming into this period now being very, very strong, very single-minded, and all of these events you end round this period off with a Hierophant. Now, Hierophant is, of course, Taurus. This is associated with Taurus, and the Hierophant really talks about a doubling down of commitment to who and what you are, to what you think is important. The Hierophant is the highest symbol on earth for our spiritual beliefs. This is not the Pope. People always call it the Pope. It's not the Pope. If you're a Catholic, it may represent the Pope to you, but it's not just the Pope. This is a symbol of whatever your personal beliefs are. This is the symbol for that sort of I want to say, belief here on earth. In a sense, this is your sort of compass, right? Your sort of, a symbol of devotion and commitment to that calling, to that spiritual center or that moral center. This can also indicate a commitment in love. But more than anything, I want to say for a lot of you, this reaffirmation, this Tower moment has not been in any kind of way a feeling of loss. It has been if anything, it has been a feeling of you sort of coming back even stronger to your beliefs, to everything that you've always believed in terms of your spiritual center, your moral center. Could very well be that this connection you were dealing with, this person was slowly taking you away from this. Could be that this relationship that now you're having this Tower moment in, which has basically vanquished this connection to such a degree that there's no sign left of it here, has really allowed you to sort of be reminded that what's most important is who you are and your beliefs, your spiritual center. And if you follow that, you will sort of come out the right way. You will make the right decisions. Right now, you're being very tempered, right? And a lot of this temperance is because of your spiritual sort of beliefs and your moral center. So this is very much like a reaffirming feedback loop, You follow your center and then you get reaffirmations that come right back to let you know that you are indeed on the right path, right? Some of you may indeed also be doubling down on an actual religious sort of path. It could very well be that in the back of your mind, you have been focused, you realize you've been focusing a lot on your career and your abundance, but this Tower moment and the affirmations coming in, and this Page of Swords, also I want to say Page of Swords, I think it brings in information, like I said before, but it also talks about having new types of conversations and ideas in your life. And it could very well be that this relationship or connection that you had before that's now going through a Tower moment that you're getting rid of had indeed in a lot of ways kept you from pursuing your spiritual sort of path. And now you kind of double back down on that as a result of this toxicity leaving your life. We're going to pull some clarifiers on this. This is a very straightforward reading for a Libra out there who has just most recently completely ended a tie, a soul tie or a psychic tie with someone, and you're not looking back at all. There's not even any residual left from this connection. It's really, this Tower moment, it's almost as if it's vaporized, this dynamic or this connection, and vaporized sort of anything that would have been left over from it. Now we're going to get the clarifiers out to see if we can get a little bit deeper into this reading and see what's really going on. 3 of Wands. I saw that earlier. I thought it would come out. Hanged Man energy. There you go. This is what I'm talking about, having been stuck in a particular area. 9 of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Right. So, bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot. Chariot has been showing up a lot. This is, of course, the tarot card for Cancer energy. Yes, indeed. All right, so let's get right into Page of Swords. Virtue, 3 of Wands. A lot of it, 3 of Wands talks about virtue and patience. Patience in moving forward, allowing things to unfold naturally, right? Allowing, the world to kind of, everything to kind of stop and things to catch up with each other. Oftentimes, 3 of Wands comes in when we're being forced to take a moment off or we're being forced to stand still rather than going forward. And it's a feeling of being forced to do that by life events so that we have, so that we give something else time to come in or time to develop, right? And I think that a lot of this Page of Swords energy, this new way of thinking, a lot of it does involve patience. It could very well be, Libra, that up until now you haven't been exercising that much patience. You've been very much trying to control the narrative. But right now, this middle of November period, it's very much telling you that the best thing you can do is allow things to slowly develop and to come out on their own. 9 of Pentacles is covered by Hanged Man. And so in a lot of ways, I'm going to say that you were indeed stuck. Right? You were stuck. You weren't really feeling very inspired. And Hanged Man generally comes in when we wake up, right? When we wake up to the fact that a particular area in our life we have indeed been stuck. And it could very well be that part of you is thinking that, Maybe I have been working too much on my career that I really didn't realize that this connection I was in was so toxic. You know, I think this is a real wake-up call in a lot of ways for you, Libra, that for some of you, yes, you've been working on your career goals, your financial goals, your abundance goals, and they are indeed important, but you have in some area of your life really not been that inspired. I'm going to say this is in the area to do with your love relationship, because I think for a lot of you, this connection was something that you just held on to because you couldn't be bothered to let go of it, because you kind of were too busy with the rest of your life. It's not that you wanted to have it so badly, but it's like, ugh, you know, I have so many other things to do. I'll break up with them when I have a chance. It almost feels like that. Like, you know, I'll leave the situation when I have a chance, but the Tower moment comes in, is divinely led, and it's like life is telling you, nah, you can't keep being stuck here. You're this stuck energy that you've had, this unsort of inspiring energy that you had in this connection is really not good for you as a whole. It's time to come out of it. And so Hanged Man comes in very much to wake you up and to remind you that going forward, you know, you're going to have to put a lot more sort of intention and attention into your relationships, rather than kind of leaving them in the back burner for them to sort of fall apart on their own because you're working so hard in your career, right? Affirmations are coming in, rewards and blessings are coming in. So I think for some of you Libras, you won't have to be working so hard that your love life or that area of your life has to continue to be put on the back burner. I think that a lot of the rewards and blessings that are coming in is going to be able to give you a breather and a chance to be able to devote a little bit more energy into your love connections. Now, Nine of Swords comes in over Temperance, and a lot of you are having a lot of anxiety and regret. I think for a lot of you, this anxiety and regret could indeed be related to the fact that you realize you were in this connection for too long, right? And the anxiety of it all. This is probably the only residual energy that I feel from this connection, and that energy is a feeling of regret. It is Mars and Gemini. Mars and Gemini energy. A lot of the cards in the Thoth deck will tell you what the planetary aspects are, but Mars and Gemini, and a feeling of really not being sure, you know, a feeling of waffling, a feeling of regret, anxiety, maybe some guilt for the way you handled the situation. And again, this is coming in over Temperance, and I want to say a lot of the reasons why you are being tempered right now, Libra, is because you do realize that some of the actions you took in the past, you do regret, and you don't want to you don't want to redo that. You don't want to revisit that. You don't want that sort of attitude or that mentality that perhaps that you had before to come back in, right? And a lot of you are dealing with just kind of healing. And even though this relationship, like I said, has been so obliterated that there's really no sign of the love connection left, there is a little bit of residual sort of regret and anxiety for having gone through it. And of course, that is absolutely normal. Now, the Hierophant comes in and you double down with your commitment to who you are, your spiritual center, what you believe in. You know, your ideas about life and karma and spirituality, all of that you recommit to. And this Ace of Discs comes in. Huge abundance and opportunities for abundance come in. And I think that this is more reaffirmation that you are on the right path. Oftentimes when we do sort of take a spiritual path, or when we do recommit to our moral center, our value system, we're exercising Dharma. A lot of times we do that. We don't have any rewards or blessings coming in. You know, the blessing or the reward is just knowing, you know, having a confidence and a contentment inside of yourself. But here we talk about actually having reaffirmations and rewards coming in. And it feels very much like good karma is being paid to you, right? It feels very much like you've done the right thing, and now the good karma that should come with it is beginning to come in. And it's, again, this is another feedback loop in the sense that life is bringing you abundance to reaffirm to you that you're on the right track, which makes you double down even harder and more committed to that track. Very nice indeed, Libra. I'm going to leave it at that. This is your middle of November love check-in. A lot of us are having these type of moments. I keep saying November is very much, this period of getting rid of toxic relationships, not looking back either. Not like a period of sad and, oh, we broke up. I mean, a lot of us are like, if you're in a love connection, that is healthy and what you want, it's getting deeper. And if you're in any kind of way in a situation that you are unhappy with, it is absolutely getting pulled out, blown out, flushed down the toilet, forgotten, put in the past, etc., etc. And that's really happening for a lot of us. Remember, Chariot is at the bottom of the deck for the Thoth deck, and that just reminds us that you are, Libra, very much on a life path. And a lot of what is going on now, you have set in motions with your intentions and your wishes and your desires. And the Chariot talks about a path that you can't really get off of. The Chariot, once engaged, will not veer off the path or change its path. It will take you to the destination that the path was laid out for. And so a lot of you, I think, are feeling, another reason why this Tower moment has obliterated so much is that you're feeling very much like you're on a train in your life that to a certain degree is out of your hands, but it is certainly taking you where you wanted to go, with abundance coming in, spiritual reaffirmations coming in, and certainly space being made in your love life for healthy connections and not toxic ones. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, Libra. Please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check out your other readings. And don't forget to come back in December to see your December reading. I'm very excited for the December readings. I think that they're going to be really something to watch, simply because December promises to be such a great month for so many of us. But for right now, Libra, I'm just going to say have a wonderful November, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.